about the map. Break this down for us. Educate me.
All right, Split, best map. Hands down. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually Ice Split. Split, second best map. Hands down.
Okay.
Because I love those close corners. I'm sorry. I'm more of those like, I'm one of those sages that gets the wall in those weird places. I'm still learning a lot of them. But I will hide behind it. I'll hide in a corner and I'll pop out when you least expect me. So maybe we won't see too much of that happen between these two teams, but you know, if I'm in your ranked game, watch out. I'm coming.
I'm suddenly scared. And y'all should know though, every time Kura and I have ranked, it has not been a pleasant experience for me or for the enemy team, which is a twofer, honestly. But makes it a lot more fun. As you see right now, the complexity on the attacking side, we know how fast they've been before on this, looking towards A, or maybe a full 5 stack. Smoke all the way back near the screens. They entered onto the site really well done setup. But they spot the Sage instead. Nice little pick, but Poise is stepping at the 2K at the back to drop down for heaven. Poise have to make it a little more even. They're not looking at the back at the flank. Shanks is a tear them apart. Nobody's watching the flank. Nobody's able to come from sewers. And just J. Cool left on site. He doesn't even have the spike. Oh, what a sight.
I mean, complexity, we're definitely not ready for that. And honestly, neither was I. Right? We saw complexity go into the site and we're like, all right, we take down Derek on the site, we plant the spike, and then we wait for the retake. Nope, not even gonna happen. We're gonna just have Shane's coming in from sewers, just taking everybody down with that frenzy, that close range frenzy, as they're gonna be keeping it for this round as well. And those Spectres coming up should be a simple round coming out from Rise as complexity this time. They're not gonna put all their eggs in one basket. They're gonna move at least some members toward mid and maybe some toward B. Actually, as I say that, they're putting all their eggs at mid. I stand corrected.
Exactly. When are you never wrong? Honestly, the answer is never. But shouldn't be unfortunately suffering as that wall goes up and they all go down. Like Humpty Dumpty, bro. They couldn't even stand on the wall before. They had a great fall, peek up, and Shanks takes one more down.
All right, well, I said it was going to be a straightforward round from Rise. I didn't expect it to be that straightforward, but that will be the case, as it's going to be Rise going back on to at least kind of a bonus round situation. Hopefully Shanks might actually stick with that frenzy here, just to get an op for that next round, should they lose this one. Well, on the side of complexity, they should be able to buy. Some people do have those light shields, however, as the Viper wall has gone up on B. The two members of Rise, they're going to make sure to stay on the left side of it and not on the other, so they're ready and waiting. And that's going to be an early gravity whale, trying to catch out some members of Rise, and it's not going to happen. They're just going to be pushing out of B.
Good call by them, right? Choosing the safe route instead this time, and also not getting caught up with the spike either. So nice little rotate at the back. The Shanks still has a frenzy in his hand. But then just the first round instead, and just blind farming through the smoke to get Poise with minus before the Visa play come in and gets one. Smoke's not really relocate, able to relocate. Oh, sorry, able to reload. Sorry, but doesn't matter in time because they have the full buys. It's Calypso on site with a Spectre. Can he make them pay for it for taking down his team? It's still pretty even. But part of the neck two at the back yet again gets one, bro. How is nobody watching their flanks ever? For complexity so far, this is so unfortunate. They keep getting punished for it. Spike still in their hand, goes down onto A. But now the hunters become the hunted. J. Cruel peek in. Just one there, but oh! It was clean at the back. Nice. It was shots, but it's just him left. Being Derek for Rise. AR 1v2. Can he do it? Peeks in?
Nope.
No. No.
Not gonna happen. I mean, again, it's gonna be Rise. This is a little bit unexpected, I feel like. They're trying to catch complexity off guard. It didn't really happen in the previous match. They were just like, all right, let's go all in. I mean, we didn't see too much of their defense, right? Because they had got so many rounds on attack. So I guess this is what their defense looks like. They just push out, get advantages, and get more information on every single site in complexity. As you said, they really have to watch their flank stab, because if they don't, they're going to get caught off guard time and time again. And that is not what we want to see, especially on their map pick.
All we want to see a strong showing from them, though. But thing was, too,
Oh, no.
considering Rise won that round with the full buys on the other end, it could be quite detrimental. But Shanks able to pick up the op, though. Knew he was saving for it as well. They put out the initial smoke, so at least lock him up, but a lot of cover coming in onto the site already. That's able to pick out the wall doing them no favors at all. There goes healer down too. This op is still in their hands. Shots dropped, Shanks dropped in. So much usually being thrown his way. Again, he's still not caught out. Hobby's still surviving. There we go. Wally gets overwhelmed by 4 people on his site. The fact that he lived for that long is genuinely impressive. Now complexity as the spike go down. Rise 1v4. Calypso is kind of a tough time.
It is going to be, especially since they don't have any of those tripwires, no cages, and the cam still has 6 seconds left, but it will be up to this first 1v1. And it's not going to work out as complexity. They get their second round, and we are tied 2-2. They don't really need too much to go on to that B site. Didn't expend those ultimates. They just used that Viper wall, punished the operator, and got that site, as that's going to force Rise onto a save. This should be okay. I should stop saying like this is going to be a simple round, because sometimes it's not simple. All right, so this is going to be a, I expect for complexity to win with the operator on J. Cruel nonetheless.
Would you say that this is going to be a complex round? Thank you. I'm gonna take my leave now.
All right, goodbye. I'm gonna solo cast now. This is over. But look at this. Shanks has already popped that blaze from on the other side. Getting this first pick could be critical. Oh! They actually get it. No way. But AGM is already up and behind it. All right, that's gonna be the trade. It's over. Pack it up.
That's. Bro, somebody start playing that Benny Hill music right now, bro. Just that.
Oh.
Up at the back. The grenade bouncing behind us. He had no way to escape. It was either died. It was a utility or died at the barrel of the gun. But Jonah P instead, with a clean 2K, instead lines them up and knocks them down. Rise yet again left. It's 1v2 situation, but this time it's a little bit more doable. Neptune has the ultimate, but he gets spotted out heaven, and they won't even give him the chance.
And Jonah P's headshots today, even on the Vandal, on the Sheriff, they've been really clean, right, Ravish?
Really well done. I'm generally impressed by him. I have to ask him to probably teach me, how to aim in the game.
Is that teachable though? I think you just need practice.
But you know what? Isn't it better when you have like a sensei for things who's able to like show you your waves? It's like in Kung Fu Panda, bro. He always knew he was a dragon warrior, but he needed a little bit of guidance before he could learn the whooshy finger hold. Right? So you gotta have a master for this.
All right, fair. Well, in any case, it's going to be the same setup coming out for Rise again. It's going to be Raze and Sage pushing up through this Viper wall. This time, there's going to be 2 members of Complexity on the other side. J-Crew has to be a little bit careful with this operator. All right, it's not going to matter. They're going to take down those 2 members of Rise on that B site, and they should be able to get in. But boys, they still have to deal with him from heaven.
Bro, my man says Skadoosh knock down another immediately. You forget about being careful, bro. You're gonna face them all head on. Instead, as this B side has been working for the absolute tremendously, they spot out 2 on heaven, have the clear stamina. He actually spots how Shanks drop down, and there we go. The call is made, knocks out another. Just Calypso left yet again in this 1v4. Man, poor guy. They know he's coming from heaven. They have to know, and so this is the right call, definitely. Just save, to get caught out, and I don't think they're gonna hunt him down either. Complexity just want to take this round easy, clean.
That's true. I want to see Calypso actually move over to that B site, because the Viper wall right now is not doing any favors for Rise, especially since they are trying to be a little more aggressive. They're getting punished.
Immediately and fiercely, every single time. We're talking about how Rise came out at the back. They were the ones doing the flanking, especially when they're about to just immediately run onto the site. It's all one complexity. It's what they do best, but on the defense, like a bit shaky, like you mentioned. Right? Just not being able to put up the same sort of plays he's seen from before. So instead, this time, I want to see Rise play a lot farther back so they can probably try to save the economy, make it a bit more even, but they're only 2 rounds down.
Yeah, I would say that they do have to be a little more careful, though, because Complexity has the Viper. And when that goes on the defense, could be really brutal to try to get onto a site. One side is probably going to have the Sage, and the other side is going to have the Viper, and then the Astra can go anywhere. And Rise's setup, they do have 2 Sentinels, but it's not as flexible as the setup from Complexity that would come out later, as that will be that Gravity Well and Snake Bite, just to stop Complexity from getting out of the site, in addition to the Sage Wall. So that's a lot used just to stop them at the front of B, but they are still going here.
It was a good read right at the beginning to, like you mentioned, to be able to stop the push from coming in, but they cannot exactly respond to this either. They've been caught up by this Joan with the like op angle on the other end. They spot out Derek, but consider they're on the save, they have to freely allow them to enter onto the site. The best thing to do right now for Ryzen is try to get a couple of picks. Pot shots go down, able to get a Joan a piece, so that is one AR down already. The pot shot recovery could be big, but the wall goes out. It was a nasty play on the end by Valorant. Calypso gets a second, knocks down another. Name never the clutch the 1v4s, but boy can he frag. Showstopper goes out, knocks him down to a little bit. Instead, the walls are there to also respond. Air, oh! This 3K finally gets shut down, and AGM cleans up. What was that? What did I just watch?
You watch 2 race ults happening and a Sage Wall kind of blocking it off. And the Sage Wall, it's not going to stop all the damage. Unfortunately, Poised will go down with it. That's another round going over to Complexity, and that was another B hit, Ravish. It's happening again and again, and it's just working out. So I think Complexity here, they do expect for Rise to move more players over to B because it seems a lot weaker. But with this, they might actually choose to push A, as there are 3 members here.
I mean, but considering that, also look where the spike is, Kura, right? It's right outside with the Viper and the Sage right along B2. So they know more reasons are there. So if they can fake this out and possibly rotate over, this could be quite big. They're positioned right down the mid, looking where they are. But Shang says the angle. He sees the Boombot. The Boombot likely will spot him out, give it enough time. And yes, yes, it does. A cute little thing, but it is op be op. It's a little bit dicey for him.
Yeah, it's not going to work out in either's favor this time. But Complexity, they're being a lot more slower this round, right? They don't want for Rise to pick up any of their weapons or get them to a disadvantage. As look at this, it's looking like a B hit again.
Cage triggered.
Slowly inching the way onto the side too. They know they're right around the corner. The question is just the trigger. We've seen come out so executionally well from Rise. On the other end of Complexity will spawn as well. But Million Spectre goes down, and so is the pit. And the Calypso bobbing and weaving, moving in between 3. Gets down another. The neural theft is not even needed because he knows exactly where they are, in front of the barrel of his gun, as he gets all the headshots. Goes so clean, and a 4K to boot, bro. There's the 1v4 clutch we were looking at for Calypso.
And I was going to say that I love playing that spot behind the screen at B when I'm playing Cypher, but they never let me play that because they always either flush it out with a Raze Boom bot or with a grenade, or, you know, what else does Complexity have? Snake Bite. But they didn't use any of that time. They let Calypso stay there for such a long period of time, and then it's just going to be that first kill inside the Viper's pit, taking down Jonah P, that allowed for Rise to pick up that round for themselves. Now going to this, they're going to have that operator on their side, while Complexity will not have any for themselves. All right, there's going to be 2 members pushing on to A immediately, and J-Crow just goes down. But look at this, B is completely open.
J-Crow and Jonah P, they're holding pinkies through any of these pushes. At least you get a 1-for-1 trade, and we know J-Crow was thankful for that at least. Boombot goes out there ready, waited right down by screens. He has Crosshair lined up, looking for the pixel. They drop down 3 in front of him, and he doesn't know where to aim. Overwhelming comes on in. They even get the res at the back, and a Complexity on the play on the back foot too. Poise also use it from the shadows to get a little bit of information with the Great Divide, but a signal to them that, you know, this has completely unlocked. In the favor as well. Valorant, knocked down 3, not in the corner. Can he get 4? No, he cannot. Calypso. Great shot that coming out from him has been clean, but they spot him out instead. They knew where he was from before because the shots came out because of Valen. Knock Poise at the back and save this round. The spike is already down. That's one more. This is enough time. He can tap it, but he cannot save it. All Complexity had to do was delay, and delay they did.
I mean, it really is going to be that duelist duo of AGM and not AGM and J Crew. It's going to J Crew and Jonah P going on that A site and getting all those members of Rise to rotate over. And I mean, that was something I think Complexity did struggle with that last map, right? Because they didn't rotate when they needed to rotate, and then they kind of baited Rise to rotate this time. So they're like, we learn. We're gonna see if they do the same thing, and they did not. They actually did rotate. So that's going to be another round going over to Complexity. 6-3, strong showing on this attack as they're putting Rise into that ping pong economy.
You don't even, man. You don't even like warn me about it. We got it's fine. You know, it's okay. The
Hey,
moment's passed. I'm sad about it.
sometimes it's like the solo say, right?
Yeah.
I can't say it with you all the time.
It's fine. It's fine. I understand. I know we have to grow apart as people, but it still hurts me. Don't worry me about it. But moving on forward, looking at this round instead, though, they do a 2-man push through mid, like make a 3-man push. They're hiding on top of one another. Jonah P let the back that gets picked off. The spike's still in the control, though, but does not mean that that J. Cool's down as a Jonah P going a little bit of a solo mission. AGM looking into. You see what they'll set up onto the site. This is where Poise got picked off before by Valorant. They don't see him come out through heaven. He gets one, but I saw trade at the back. They will not allow them to even enter in through heaven. Body moving back and forth the site. Oh, actually wins the trade on the Sage nonetheless too, but they know the site still not in their favor. Spots the pixel of the other Sage. Not gonna do much. Not gonna do much good. Just Valorant left.
No, Valorant actually does have a chance here. The spike is
30
dropped in
seconds
B heaven. And I know that the member of Rise has backed off all the way towards spawn because there's nobody left in ropes. Honestly, it's going to be up to Derek, who is sitting on the site, to try to get them to not plant.
They heard that.
Oh, they did.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, they will! Okay, so now there's actually a chance because they're going to be planting default. Calypso coming in from heaven, that camera all the way at A, so they will not have any additional information.
This is so unfortunate. He spots him just by the cloth of her robe, with it meditating at the side that he puts.
Oh, they don't
Check
know.
out
They
the
don't.
robe up to the top, and no! Calypso immediately takes him out from above.
All right, another round going over to Rise. And I mean, they picked off Jonah P really, really early. And so that Viper Wall, Poison Cloud, Snakebite, all taken out of the equation, which I feel like was critical in those previous rounds that Complexity had won. And so now going into this, it's going to be round number 11. Some more ults coming out from Rise, but not too many as AGM. One alt point away on the side of Complexity from that showstopper. Could be looking toward that A orb. Never mind, he's going to be going toward mid. We'll get a kill, looking for a kill instead of the orb, right? Because you can still charge up with kills.
See, yeah, because if you think about it, if you kill somebody on the other side, not only do you get an olive, you also get the advantage if for your team abilities. But the Great Divide comes out immediately from Astra. So cut off almost the entire side at the back. The Calypso is just so gross with it. Instead, now Valiant at the back end cannot what you find the trade. And then Neural Theft, who is close enough for the body, they read the entire push. There's 3 there, but they actually can't punish them for it. All the utility will come out to slow down the push at least. They know they're likely going towards B, but resources are going over, yet east side is left open. All of Rise are here.
I mean, Complexity were trying to do the same thing where they baited everyone from Rise to go over toward A, but they weren't able to get the picks that they needed on B.
Out the back, the best that gets picked off, so no healing from them coming. Yeah, they will allow and probably be able to retake it the back. Chance goes for an aggressive peek instead. Trades up for 1-for-1. It's a 2-for-2. Stop the platform coming in. Oh, it's so nice. And Poise at the back will knock the final. Pressing down.
That Neural Theft there coming in clutch for Rise. Calypso really popping off on this map. It is going to be Cypher's house. Split is Cypher's house, honestly. So we're kind of seeing the full brunt of that. As Shank's going to be going back on that operator for this last round. It doesn't seem like J. Crew will be picking one up for themselves. They'll just be going with a Guardian on Jonah P. And this time, Complexity not really deciding to go through mid. They might go through mid at least with AGM. But the other 4 members are on that B side. The Viper Wall's in a bit of a different position. And it's going to be that early dark cover and early slow orb. to allow for that duo of Neptune and Derek to push out. And that's going to be the Sage Wall as well, completely stopping Complexity. Gets broken very early, but Derek, they have to be really careful.
Derek can easily get spotted at the back. He's up against so much opposition. Unfortunately, if he was getting one trade, would have been nice.
Oh, no.
Goes in.
Oh, no.
This could be big. Oh, they don't get anybody at all. Grenade goes out the button. He gets punished. He doesn't have his gun out. And just like that, that'll be the Viper split taken. Oh, but he gets punished for it right at the end. And Jonah P down, though, but still lives are still in their favor. And the res at the back, too. It is just Shanks left. Nice little pick. The op shot is clean. Gets Gravity pulling it back in. Oh, he gets the second. A 3v1. The Viper split comes up finally. Res being saved at the end is absolutely clutch. Now Shanks, he has the clutches. He could, honestly. 3v1, not impossible, but very hard.
I think it's going to be very difficult because we don't really have any of those damaging utilities to push Viper outside from the smoke. And especially with that showstopper, you know, it's going to stop his life. That's going to be another round going over to Complexity 7-5. And what I said before, Complexity on the defense is going to be a very hard thing for Rise to push into. The Sage, the Viper, the Astra, and even, I mean, the Raze as well. It's going to be a lot of stopping power on their side, especially since we saw Jonas P's Viper being really good on that B site. The Vipers, well, this is interesting, however, they think that Rise could be having more mid presence, which is why they don't want to let them push up. And the Sage Wall will be put at A if they do use it. And, I mean, Rise, 3 members are at A with the spike, so this could be a possibility.
Rise could easily tie this up too by getting these next 2 pistols, and we know how good they've been on them consistently on the confirm. But Complexity to switch over on the defense that hasn't necessarily gone their way. Shanks so popped off before. The frenzy at the back. There's a line that is slowly entering onto the site. It's a very dangerous peak for AGM. Oh! At the back, just spots his head. Instead, gets taken down, spike down as well. He will get pushed down at least, but Neptune picking up the spike. Can he get the third one? He cannot. Makes a 3v3 as he slowly inches their way onto A. Not much control taken as of yet. A good call with the rotate, and they do exactly that, but Valorant is waiting for them.
I mean, Derek did get a pick mid, but in this 3v3, it's going to be the 3 agents I was talking about on the side of Complexity. The Astra can move her stars anywhere, so Rise still not going to have a good time, even though they picked off those 2 initial duelists. And Jonah P still has 2 snake bites available that are going to stop Rise, but they're going to stop his life as the last 2 members coming in from heaven will get smoked off. Should allow for a plant on the site unless Valen comes in quickly.
Oh, they spot about immediately. They peek into Valen gets tied up, and now suddenly it is just him left. Those trades are really well done here from Rise, because although even if they may not be able to establish control onto the site, if they get at least trade 1-for-1 again, consistently be able to be 1 person ahead, it's all they need. 23 health here for Valen, though. Looking at him right now to be able to possibly clutch with the frenzy could be good. The Astra start, if he sets up a smoke or even a gravity well to pull them all in one after another, it would be solid. Now pot shots, so they're really good position. We get the back right through screens. He's peeking in. If he taps the spike, it will likely be his doom. They have both his crosshairs pointed at him. All they gotta do is fire. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he ended up taking that Astra star that was sitting in front of B. I expected him to do kind of a similar thing, right? Use the smoke to get him in through elbow and then use the star to pull Rise out of their positions, but that did not end up happening. That's going to be a round going over to Rise. Should be a round after that as well. But on the side of Rise, they've actually picked up, it's going to be 2 Spectres instead of that full, you know, light shield rifle buy, as they don't want Complexity to really take any of their guns away from them, as they've definitely done it before. I mean, Shanks has done it on their side. Why can't J. Quill do it too?
I mean, it's just that easy. Just shoot forehead.
Yeah.
Like if
At their forehead.
Oh my God. Curry, you're a genius. But Neptune, I've never thought about that before, but looking at the game right now, they're going to get pushed in with all the class. He can't do much at all. And now suddenly, this B side should all Rise as well. Able to get a lot of control immediately. It'll depend on how they're actually able to set up. They will plant the spike for garage instead, so should expect to be 1 person there. Now, how will Complexity respond with 2 people J. Cruel and Derek, they could possibly bring this back. It wouldn't be super hard, but the high ground and control that they have across the entire site will make that even harder.
And they do have 3 smokes available from J. Cruel. You should be able to use them to get out of defender spawn. Calypso is just waiting in heaven. And on the other side, boys will kicked off Ojai. So 7-7. As I was talking about before. Pretty straightforward, right?
Can I just say, man, yo,
All right.
J. Cruel, broski, brother, yo, you can't just set up your smokes one after another. You're literally like lighting a path to be like, hey, look, this is where I'm walking. This is where I'm going forward. Just shoot me
It's the
right
caterpillar.
here.
Come on. I think it's a great idea. Maybe Jet Smoke's a little bit more sketchy because they last for a short period of time, right? So you're still technically mind gaming whether or not you're going through that smoke.
You know what? Whatever you say, you're the duelist player here, so
I guess
I'll
so.
leave it to you. I mean, I play a breach, so what do I know about smokes, bro? I just flash and I hope people aren't looking where I am, as I do have a little bit of tech box.
You mean you hope they are looking? Right?
Yes,
You
you
want
know
to
what I'm
flash.
saying. But see how you understood? Aha.
I don't like this.
Yes.
It's spewing
Well,
some false information out here and expecting me to correct him. Come on.
What matters is that I'm living in your head rent free, and you understand every word that I'm saying. So I'm not even.
I hate this.
rant.
Please get me out. Please get me out. I don't know. I guess Rise, can you win this one so I can get out of here? No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, it is really close, and Complexity's defense. I mean, it only has been the first 2 rounds, right? And in this pause, I want to say it could be a pause coming out of Complexity. Not too sure. Probably regrouping, making sure that they actually have the setup that they want in order to stop Rise from getting in onto the site, because they have been for the first 2 rounds.
But now, considering how Rise have actually moved on over on the attacking side, we've seen how strong the attacking half here was, Kura. Like, just with how much aggression, poise, execution. I see that word over and over again. And even the intensity at which they attacked the site. It was a sight to see, definitely. See?
Okay.
But... come on, that one was pretty good. You know what, whatever, it's fine.
I think we've made like
I'll laugh
4
about it.
puns already in the span of 14 rounds somehow.
Hey, so I'm actually going at a pretty good average. So let me be on that. But like I was talking about before, right? Look, as we move it over to this half, we were seeing how Rise needed to pick up these 2 pistol rounds. They've done so already, but here's where it really goes down. Complexity. They will have full buys across the board for themselves. They need to be able to pick it back up in this one to make it a bit more even. But the question will be, once both sides have full buys, how will Complexity perform? We know they like to push out a lot on their defense. We know they like to punish Rise for the slower plays, but they've been forced to be punished by that before, because Rise decides and when they adapt, they decide, yo, maybe we'll just chill here. We actually don't gotta come to you. You come to us, give us free picks. It's something we got all this control, especially when you give us, Jonah P, J. Cruel, and say, hey, opt down, Viper down, free.
That's true, but I mean, for the style that Rise play, right, as you said, kind of just pop on at the last minute, Complexity can still counter that, right? They just have to make sure that they don't use those slow ords early, don't use the Sage Wall early, and make sure they only use their utility, at least the ones that can't be moved around, just later in the round. Right? I think if they do that, then they should be able to stop Rise and delay them for long enough so that the spike doesn't go down.
You have to remember, this is round of 16, so right now, whoever loses this is completely out of the Spring Fling 2. We are fighting for elevation, fighting for survival between these 2 teams. We know Complexity, they've been fantastic in the overall scene, but Rise coming around the back, looking to make a staple of themselves, looking to make their name known even more, to establish themselves, which I think we're really all here for, right? But if I can, if we can see more fantastic Valorant, I'm all for it.
That's true. And going into this round, it seems like they're going to be moving, again, that Viper on the A site with a different wall this time. I love to see different Viper walls, as that will be the typical Sage Wall. Going up mid to stop Rise from pushing there should go down quite quickly, as there is a dark cover cutting off Male. AGM, however, looking in, just making sure that no members of Rise are pushing up. But on the A site, there's only 2 pushing up ramps.
Trickle taking it to back, so he has Crosser lined up, but Shanks is quicker on the flick, punishing his counterpart instead although having that necessarily in their control, there should likely be a call for resources from complexity to come on down onto A, which is honestly this is exactly what should happen. Be left open, just one person left there. Just in case something happens, cover goes out as well. You're here looking in, and this is clean. Neptune taken out. This is a really aggressive peek at the back. This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the kind of trade-off you have to do, when especially when you play with no flashes, right? Dry piece can unfortunately happen. AGM at the back, but no! By way to the smoke, you will get punished. And now Calypso with the 2K for himself. But that's me the sides that they control.
30 seconds left.
But see
Spike
what both
planted.
Ohai and Meryl can do. Just two people doing know exactly where they're coming from. They knock down the wall. How did they spawn in? They can use the smoke to enter onto the site. Ohai slowly inches his way in. Spots not one, but Shank shuts him down. It's just Valorant left.
Actually,
Will likely
I did expect there for Ohai to use the Resurrector and make it at least a 3v4, but it seems like Complexity, they just wanted to do a 2-person retake and almost like give up that round. Not sure, Ravish.
I mean, considering what kind of situation they're in, I would expect a complexity to actually go for the save. So at least they could have had 2 ARs. On the other hand, going into the next and probably just stack one site with the expected Rise to push. But now instead they decide, yo, you know what? Why don't we just join up with the whole squad? We'll just get light shields and sheriff and we'll ball out, right? But
That's
with no
true.
complexity, they could be sick. They could be sick with the flicks, but Jonah P. He get this flick instead at the back. Nice. Oh, well, she cannot.
Almost.
If he,
Almost.
and just like that, Derek will get 2 more right down onto mid. J. Cruel positioned up really far to possibly catch out one AGM. It's that punishing Shanks though will get an AR for himself though, so this could be the rise back in. It's only 2 to 4, not impossible, but it's a very doable. This is what we were talking about before here as well, Kerr, right? Where Rise decide, yo, what a complexity compared to them, especially on the pistol, just try to match their aggression.
You know what I mean? Complexity, they don't have any of those slowing members down, as I said, and that's going to be J-Crow going down as well. So AGM, last member standing, will have this Phantom, and honestly, I would have liked to save here. I don't think I would go for this because 4 members of Rise, very healthy, does have all that utility up, but 2 points away from that showstopper. Perhaps if that showstopper was up, going for it might be a more viable situation. But, I mean, there we go. It's going to be AGM going down. Rise taking the lead 9-7 now. Seems like the attack, they're still getting on for free. Complexity aren't able to stop them, and they're just losing the fights. As we saw, even though that was a save round, that Complexity were trying to do the same thing as Rise. Play 2 members just a little more aggressively toward Garage, and then they get punished. Right? They were punishing those 2 members last time, so I don't know exactly what they expected because they're just going to get punished this time.
But imagine right now the Rise is should be able to do all the punishing, considering look at everything they have up. Almost every alt out on their screen. J. Cool as well at the back. He also has the op as well. And immediately before the Cyphercation can go before he gets knocked down. But Shanks from the skies will rail down nice onto him. I didn't see with the flick, but Jonah P. With the hit and the end of the 2K at the back. AK. Woohoo! That was clean sheesh. But Complexity will take out the round. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was a very quick round as Rise tried to full rush A, switch it up a little bit on Complexity, but it's going to be Jonah P pulling out again with those headshots on the Vandal. Mwah, beautiful, chef's kiss. Just like what we saw before, turning it on once again. To pick up a round for Complexity, and we are not going to count them out just yet as they have 3 ultimates for this round. Going to be holding A mostly by themselves, actually, because if they pop that Viper's Pit on A, I don't think Rise is really going to want to push in. The only utility that they have to force out Jonah P will be that Raze, and that Raze is sitting at mid. But if J. Crow can pick up, oh, that is just a shoulder up there, will not connect. I was going to say that would have been pretty good. Sage Resurrections will take a while to come back up, though, because both of them were used in that previous round, as Shanks has actually sneaked by.
Yeah, just got past all the defenses, through all the chaos, too. Somehow he made it on through. Position was slowly inching towards A, though. But if he can get a couple of picks and catch Complexity by surprise, it could be yet again another hold onto the A side, which we've seen. And so far, Rise has had the most success. Wall is there, though. J. Cruel. He has
up to
he can
J.
hold
Cole.
on sideline for so long. The dry P could be clean. Yep, and immediately Neptune gets punished again though. Reposition will reload, dashing onto the side. Can they catch him off guard? No, they cannot. And
Oh!
just blinded to paranoid, is able to get one more, but checks in the back. The side is open, Spike is there, and the Neural Theft 2 will give away so much information. It is still a 3v4 hold. Ohio to knock down the wall so they will let them know where he is. At least Rise how they respond.
Yeah, Jake, we're gonna pick one up on the off, but we see that Shanks is coming in through mid, but it's gonna be a little bit too late. As Complexity have just taken control of the site. Oh, okay, that's gonna be one, and that's two, but will not be able to finish that off. It's getting a little bit close there. Could have aced it to win that round, but not going to happen. As Complexity, they've brought it back. It is 9-9 right now.
Yeah, Jonah P was also right at the side under ropes too. So if he spotted him out first, then maybe it would have been a little bit better. But then they would know exactly where he was entering the site.
And that definitely was true. But at least, you know, the operator's still going to be going back onto J. Crow. Rise, their economy looking all right. They should be able to buy for that next round, even if they do lose this one. But that Viper's Pit still has not been used on the side of Complexity. Rise have to be very careful of that, right? Because I think Jonah P could hold a site by themselves or could choose to actually use it mid, which it seems like they will, just to stop off any of these quick rotates. So if Rise do decide to rotate, they have to go all the way back through spawn, and that will cut a lot of time.
This is excellent control of the site here. The Complexity, they're falling a little bit behind, but we know this map to be theirs. They've been so extremely dominant on it before, so why not again? And Rise have been falling consistently to just small little dry peaks at the back, or just taking. We're going up. What's going up in areas where they know they can easily be shot down, though. But now just only look towards A. They know this is where they had to go. B side looking to, not exactly very doable. There's the op there, but Ohio spots them coming in. They should be called for all the rotates. If they get him down, the site should be there. Spike will go down, and it is a 5v5 retake for the first time in this match with a boom pod. Unfortunately, gets done Calypso, so make that a 4v5 instead. The AGM still holding it down with a grenade instead. Oh my God, these utilities coming out from AGM has been so huge, and they just get 2 for free. Now they makes it 3-4. Or the back for the fight. The boys gets another. Looking at him, he's got him down at the back. So right onto the site. His open stun is so clean, but he's defusing. They don't know that he's sticking it, and they finally get him.
Yeah, there's no way that they're gonna allow the same thing to happen that happened to them last game, right? No shot.
No
shot. I really like that spike plant position actually, because you can defend it from heaven, and I think a lot of the spike plants on A, if you plant like further back, usually people, when they don't have control of heaven, they decide to plant it behind the screen or behind the pillar, which makes it really hard to defend. But even though Rise did not have full control of heaven, they still chose to plant in the front, and it did work out in their favor. But going into this round, Complexity, their money not looking too great. They do have to win this one, or else Rise could go to round number 12. But J. Crew this time is going to be doing a little dance with Derek once again. And I do not think that Derek is going to want to take this.
Exactly. A dance in Spanish, which I like to call La Valle de las Muertas. The dance of death, really. Whoever peaked first loses. And
That's
more
true.
for that is going to be Derek, especially up against an odd. Chance gets stuck. He's up against 2 of the opposition smoke dissipates. Oh, good reposition. That could have been absolutely fatal. A really good start for Complexity.
But it's still going to be Rise again, playing quite slow, and Complexity not pushing out from any of these sites. But B should be completely off limits to Rise unless they go through mid. But I don't believe that wall went up early, so it still could be used to stop them. As that's another Astra Star going down, and it will be a smoke or a recall this time instead of a gravity well. Oh, look at that. It's J. Crew on the operator. Oh, I will be able to back him up here in heaven, though, as they're pushing in.
30 seconds left.
You go up, be strong onto heaven. They get one push back. The J.Cool is so clean with the flick. He gets the second, and one after they just keep on falling. The 3K for him is so nasty. They need to take the op out of this dude's hands, bro, but they cannot punish him for it. These sightlines are cool. They're not smoking him out, and they're allowing themselves free reign to just get picked off one after another. And Shank's not stuck in his gravity well. He won't get picked, but he will be sad, and I just picked that. Bye.
That is true. And I know I posted on Twitter, I think, well, I don't remember which this was, but I was like, oh, Shazam with the Ion Operator. Does that mean I should buy an Ion Operator? I mean, J. Crow's doing the same thing. Seems like I really do have to get it.
Bro, Ion Operator diff is very, very real. Okay? You can see it here. Like, I don't think Shanks would be as... I don't think J. Crew would be as good without it. Normal op for plebeians.
True, true. Well, I mean, Ryan's going to be pushed onto a safe now, so Complexity should be able to take this one. As it seems like they're going to be getting ready for a push onto A. That's going to be the Blade Storm popped and going into heaven. But J. Crew once again, it's the Ion Operator. Is taking down the one thing that could have won Rise this round.
The read was so good for him to reposition down onto heaven. Although he can't get the third, they will. Like, we will punish one, though at least we're after getting one back. We'll force them to reposition. We'll get them control of heaven, but they still can't get onto the site, though. But the question is, how will Rise respond on the back foot? They won't go over to A instead. Although it is open, they would need to take a Jonah P, who's waiting for them around the corner, right at the back. Spike still in their hand, 3v4.
Now Complexity, they're still not pushing out too much. Balin will come in from that defender side. Will pick up one, but not the second. So 2 members of Rise left. 50 seconds remaining. And everywhere they go, there's going to be a member of Complexity. So they have to win at least one of these duels.
They could possibly catch out Ohai, though, but Ohai needs to be clean, but he needs to shut them down to make sure no control is given over. It's that I like this a lot for him. He'll position himself all the way at the back. He's get caught out early, but trade duels too. To spot his shoulder. That's what he's waiting for. Separate cage goes down to know where he is at least. Pushes, can they catch him out? You see at the back, J. Crew is there. Possibly catch out a second. As well, showstopper. Oh, they catch him! They shut down J. Crew. Now Jonah P is on the other end of the site. They have more than enough time to plan. Only one snake bite left from Jonah P. Can he clutch his 2v1? Rise needs to win this round. Remember, this is a broken buy for them as well. This could be huge going into the next couple rounds for themselves. 10-10, but he gets spotted, Kura. This is so bad for him.
That's true. They do have one of those snake bites, one of those poison clouds could cut off this crossfire. But it's going to seem like they are not going to do so, as their position will be revealed immediately.
One enemy remaining.
Use the
Oh,
C4
okay.
to cut him. Oh,
Wait, no.
We know Jonah P
No
is
shot.
sick with the flicks. He puts down the smoke clouds as well. You know, they know, right? But he doesn't matter. There's no time to defuse. Won't die to the spike, but still, cool flick, man. I liked it.
Definitely was. That's going to be Rise picking up a round for themselves. Complexity now are a little bit on the back foot. The operator will still go into the hands of J. Cruel. We should see some pretty nice and crispy shots, as the Blade Storm will be available from them as well. The Cosmic Divide could stop Rise from getting onto one of the sites should they choose to use it this time. Because I feel like we haven't seen it in this half. Have we, Ravish?
No, we have not.
Well, all right. So hopefully we'll see it now. As Rise, they're still able to, you know, rotate, get themselves out of those sticky situations. And this time, they're moving 4 members toward B and having that lurker of Calypso onto that A site. He's going to back off immediately. And those 2 members of Complexity sitting in the front are not going to find anything, as that Shank's going to tailwind onto the site. And they'll just be able to get a pick for free.
And the biggest thing was that J. Crew was also holding down onto heaven with the smoke instead. He gets him in the air. How does he keep doing it, bro? Stop it. It's not fair. You're making me jealous. I wish I could also land shots just in general, though, but that still means the spike is still down. It's 4v4. Very doable Complexity. He puts up the knives. Nice res at the back. And they immediately punish Ohai for peeking to catch up one more showstopper. But AGM could get another. There it is. He dies in the crossfire instead. And it's just Jonah P left. And no, he's not. I'm a liar.
Right, that's going to be Rise bringing up to 12 rounds. And I mean, they just went completely onto the B side. They did the same thing as Complexity. Right, and Complexity were not expecting that, and so they're going to be on the back foot once again. And it's going to be a scuffed by for potentially the last round of the game, Ravish, the last round in this day.
This is such a tough call for them. They do have the divide up to. And Ojai, if he's able to get the alt orb, it could be a res also in his favor, but it is going to be such a close call. I don't imagine seeing him fight for the alt orb, but if it's possibly able to get one pick, that could be big. That res could be do or die.
Oh,
But they just get
no.
picked off, neural theft down. They know exactly where they are. Rise establishes themselves in this game, man. It's just one after another. That's not going to do. Okay, hey, Valorant able to get the AR step, be able to bring it back. High on the other end. That means the rest back too. This could be big if we get one more member to get one member on their favor. 4v3 is what Complexity could need. I was about ready to call it, but I should never count out Complexity. I was my bad, y'all. There, nice wall front. A little high ground for him too.
Those are where the two bodies are, right? Yeah. So like, they can't really go get the res, and those two members are just gonna be stuck inside of A. So Derek is the last member left standing through that cosmic divide that has been finally put down. Nothing to actually push him out of this, so they're gonna be blind peeking into 3 members. So Complexity are going to bring it back. That was not the last round of the day.
No, it was not. They come at the back through screens and they catch our Rise who are looking down on Heaven. This is why it's important to cover all your sight lines, kids. Call out what you're covering. Because you're gonna get flanked like that, and Complexity just so good at it. One more round left to go. It's Rise looked so good at the beginning. There were so many nice picks, but Complexity fighting for survival in this one, looking to send us to overtime current. Shanks has those knives. Woo! They still have full buys on the board. But Shanks is a spectre, unfortunately.
Definitely is true. That's gonna be the early Blade Storm popped for Shanks. They're gonna need to get some picks off this, as the 2 Astra orbs will still be sitting on that A side. Complexity have put a lot more members toward B, however. It's gonna be the Astra, Sage, and the Jet. On this site, it's going to be up to Jonah P and AGM, but mostly Jonah P sitting behind Flower. This is definitely a spot that a lot of teams forget to check. If they go on the site, they could not check it, and they don't!
Oh, that's knives are down as well, as he's actually able to reposition nonetheless. Viper Pit also he stayed by goes out, just clean with the shots, and finally gets punished. It becomes a 2-for-1. By the end of it, just keep winning on these trades. If Valorant getting it comes to the back through screens, and is just poised left. We're going to overtime.
We are, and I mean, this is what happened the last time Complexity played on Split. So I guess I'm casting the same thing again, Ravish.
It's like deja vu will be not in the Matrix, though, Kurt.
Yeah, so if this does end like the last time, it's going to be Complexity winning 14-12. So this first round is going to be very important for them. The Viper Wall has gone up on B. Same thing, going down. We'll see if they actually choose to go B again, which it looks like they will. Maybe they're mind gaming Rise a little bit. They're like, Viper Wall has gone up B. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that they're going to do it again, right?
Right. Nudge,
right?
Wink, wink. But they are. Biggest thing of all this too is you should look at Shanks who's holding up the op onto A instead. Also looking for the push there, but like you mentioned, the wall will likely go up to the gravity. We're not going to get anybody at all. There's 2 people still on site. We're seeing the catch up with the camera nonetheless as well. But they only see Jonah P. If they can get down Calypso, this could be big. He has no util on him. With the tripwires there as well to possibly stave off the push. Smoke goes down. Has to be so careful. They probably don't expect him there. And they go down onto Heaven. As soon as that wall goes down, I imagine Hellfire will rain on top of them. But they don't even need to have to do that. Instead, the wall will be dropped as well. Spike's not down as of yet, though they still are down. A man. It's still like the plant. Plant, please plant. Thank you.
No, they aren't going to be able to plant because of those ninjas, and Neptune has picked up Jonah P, and they're going to get another one, and that's going to just be the flawless coming out from Rise. Oh my!
Bro,
this is not going to be a 14-12 from Complexity. This is deja vu is gone. It's gone. Completely gone.
I'm in shock and awe. I'm genuinely surprised how they've been holding down at the back. It's just so clearly I misread how back and forth things work. I was thinking your complexity could be able to do this. You can easily get out the sight. No, I'm a liar, Kura. There's just one after another, and a showstopper at the end to boot.
Let's make some chaos.
Whew. All right, well, you know, after that crazy round coming out from Rise on the defense, it's going to be up to them to win a round on the offense, which honestly they have not had too much trouble doing. And so complexity, you're going to have to be so careful. They cannot get picked off anywhere because the Sage still needs 3 of those ult points to charge up. Rise has 3 members toward me, and the wall has already been broken, so it's going to be up to Ohai here, and Ohai goes down. That is going to be terrible for complexity.
That's so unfortunate. He peeks it super aggressively, but AGM there. They likely know he's one holding down and waiting to clear it, but are they going to use utility, or they're always going to drop down one after another if they possibly drop it? They'll peek it. Yeah, they get one. Oh my god, it's so well done. Yes, sir. The pinky method always works, and it's just Valen down. Jonah P and J. Cruel, this pinky holding duo. We've seen them trades one after another. Jonah P so quick with the flicks. He gets 2. Can he be the savior of this round to keep complexity alive? He gets a 3K. Can he get the ace? Especially go down. It's 2v2 something. This man is an absolute animal, and I want to hear him roar. He's the back, the 4K Jonah P, and he be the savior of complexity. One more person. 31 health, 4 bullets.
No.
Make that 3. Frenzy out. He takes it. The ace for Jonah P.
Oh my, that's going to be the ace to save complexity. Bring it into a second overtime. It's going to be Jonah P. He's been so good at holding this A site and an elbow. Nonetheless, I feel like we've seen this at least 3 times on the defense. It's the same position, the same shots, and they land every single time. What is happening?
Bro, if you could marry Jonah P's flicks, I would, because my god.
Same.
Those were sexy, bro. How do you do it? I told you when I needed a master, like this is what I need. I'm about to, bro, I need a fan. I need to cool down after that one.
Yeah, like I'm already finished myself with my hand because, whoo, that is absolutely crazy. And let me see Viper Wall going up, but this time, the spike is sitting at that A side with the Raze and the Astra. It's going to be up to Shanks here with, again, another operator. We'll see if they actually decide to smoke him off and try to go on the A side, as Complexity are pushing their boundaries on mid and on B.
Slower play right now from Complexity. They know how the fast pushes from them were punished by them before. But now with the 2 moving through mid, though, Shanks has to be savior of this round, I find. If you could possibly get 2 picks here, get the one onto AGM, that immediately stops any hope of them onto going on to A, and they all have to funnel to B, and considering the spike is right there, we see Complexity rotating over as well. If he's able to shut down the push, possibly get 2 picks, this could be big, but the Astra Star might prevent it as they inch the way a little bit closer. 1 peek in and no! That's so unfortunate. He missed the shot. I think he got his leg or something, but at the back, the boy's looking to possibly stave them off instead. So made a hero responsibility is given over. Instead, at the back, the op is picked up too. Valen getting him down, the complexity looking better and better. Make it 3v3, I picked up, and J. Cruel, he knows how that thing works, bro. And he's gonna fire it like he does consistently. Now just down to a 2v4. Can Rise do it again?
I don't know if they can because everybody is watching so many places. Oh, that's going to be a nice spot coming out from Valen. Still hasn't been able to capitalize, however, as Calypso picks one off on the back. But this is still very doable. And okay, Derek, not going to be able to do it. That's going to be a round going over to Complexity 14-13. And now they are the ones that need to win on defense. And this is what their comp is built for. I want to see them do it.
Let's all collectively take a breath. Kura,
right, deep breath in, like
chat. Yeah, like let's just like breathe for a second. Because I feel like I'm having too many heart palpitations. My doctor told me that like, yo, bro, all this arrhythmia is not good for you, bro. But I got 911 on speed dial with how many heart attacks I've been getting in this round so far. Rise fighting for survival. That's what a complexity as well. One round up. Can he knock them down?
Again, this is still very doable for them to bring it into another overtime. Is on the attack. I think they just have to out mind game complexity, make them use those stopping utilities, and then just burst onto one of those sites. But they still have a minute left on the clock.
Slow pushes and methodical control. This is what we saw out of Rise consistently for so long. And
Oh,
man, he's always there. Whatever you think he's not there, he's there. Though how many times have we seen complexity and along with J. Cool consistently punish Rise for peeking this angle with no smokes at all, with no utility either. And AGM at the back, they're poised to be able to do so. He missed the second shot and shot him down. But no, with just a quick flick, my man's quick scoping like it's rust, but he does not need any more high ground. And he has a knife as well. Flicks at the back, he doesn't have the right click. It does not